electoral code ay yung issue sa reserve seats, particularly in the process of selecting the representatives of the indigenous people. No? Meron kasi silang indigenous na process that needs to be arrived at a consensus, or at least at a consensus by among the indigenous communities. Also, there are also issues on the representation of women. No? On the representation of women who, of course, they would want to have more representation in party politics, in party representation, also in district representation. So these all contributed to somehow the delay in the submission of the proposed electoral code.
So ang susunod po na magtatanong ay si Ma'am Nia Panabag of BNB News.
TFA po.
Ay, okay. Si Ma'am Bailey ng Abu Pala of TFA. Then susundan naman ni Ma'am DC Mangot of PXNY.
Assalamualaikum po, sir. Kanina po is nabagit niyo po about investment and employment growth para po sa Bangsamoro. So, may plano po ba ang Bangsamoro government na mag-explore ng gas and oil? Simula na ang pag-explore ng gas and oil sa Ligawasan Marsh. Kasali po ba yan sa proyekto o programs po ng Bangsamoro government?
I think nasa BOL yan. Eventually, ultimately, we will have to arrive at that point that we need to begin paving the way for the exploration of our natural resources. Hindi lang kayo excited, kami excited din kami dyan pag nasimulan na yan. But still, there are certain principles in governance na kailangan mag-guide yung national government policies at saka yung regional policies, because that provision of law in the BOL is governed by power sharing, revenue sharing, and then of course yung co-management under the 1996 Final Peace Agreement na dapat may co-management na dyan sa mga resources na yan, not only in natural resources, but also more particularly doon sa inland waters, no? May mga resources. These are sources of energies kasi minsan kagaya sa Agus, no? So darating tayo dyan. However, I would like to highlight, kanina nag-report ho si Chief Minister na mataas yung GDP natin, no? In comparison to 2019 ba yun? Yung comparison nyo, or 2018? 7.5 yung GDP. Tumaas din, nag-reduce din yung poverty natin dito sa BARM from 50% naging 30%. From 300,000 yung actual na poverty incidence sa families is from 300,000 plus naging 200,000 plus yung number. However, ang challenge pa rin natin is yung we are still, although we are in the top 4 of all of yung pinakamataas na GDP, but we continue to be one of the poorest regions in the Philippines. So ang effort ngayon ng leadership ng government of the day is towards more economic activity.
Magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. Medyo recap lang po natin yung ating mga kababayan. Noong third regular session, ilan yung naisabatas na po natin po?
Sa mga...
So naging priority measures?
We have passed around 24 legislations already. Yeah, we passed 26 legislations already. We have passed 3 priority legislations already. And 200 plus resolutions.
Okay po. Ngayong kabubukas po ng ating 4th regular session, yung sa priority po natin, 3 na lang po. Yung sa IP, Electoral Code, and yung sa...
Yes.
4 labor code. Opo. Siyempre po, gusto rin pong malaman, marinig ng ating mga kapatid na IP. Yung sa IP code naman po, ano naman po, saan naman po ngayon?
Yes, yung IP code po ay kumbaga po sa sasakyan ay mabilis yung takbo. No? Itong una, I would like to give a short brief background dito. We have two MPs from the IP. Si MP Romeo Saliga and MP Milanio Ulama. Yung pong dalawang MP natin ay nag-file ng dalawang bill related dito sa IP rights, no? IP code. So ang ginawa po natin sa majority floor leader, as a majority floor leader, ay talk to them, no? Na kung pwede sana ay pag-isahin yung version ninyong dalawa. No? So para hindi tayo mahirapan, sabihin, madali ang usad nito pag nagkaisa yun. So nakagawa po sila ng version, ng isang version na IP. So nung nakagawa na sila ng IP na isang version, IP code, ito po ay pinag-usapan namin sa government of the day through the Bangsamoro Attorney General and one MP, MP Attorney Raisa Deluri, to plansyahin yung batas na ito. At in fact, ito ay naka-file na, ay naka-refer na sa committee, naka-file na, naka-refer na sa Committee ng Indigenous Peoples Concern. Pag ito ay ma-finalize na sa level ng committee, with the participation of the government of the day, ay magkakaroon na ng committee report at ito ay may pasanarin sa plenaryo. No? Yun lang po, sa ngayon ay ipa-finalize, ibig sabihin yung final version. Ito. So ako I'm very optimistic that this year ay may pasa natin itong IP code. Kasi ulitin ko, yung dalawang MP natin, nagkaisa na sa isang version. Ito ay na first reading na natin. Ito ay naka-refer na sa appropriate committee. Ngayon ay pinafinalize na lang. And then at the end of the day, babalik sa plenaryo for approval. So nasa mataas na level na ito at ito ay malapit ng maaprubahan.
Thank you po.
Ang susunod na katanungan ay manggagaling kay Nigel Sumanggid ng DXMS.
Hello po, good afternoon. Yung dalawang priority bills ng Bangsamoro government, yung BDE Bill number 32, the Non-Development Authority, at BDE Bill number 53, the Bangsamoro Sustainable Development Board. Kamusta na po ito ngayon, sir?
Ang ginawa po natin dyan, ito ay tapos na rin sa first reading at ito ay nagka-refer sa Committee on Rules as a chairman. Ang ginawa po natin dyan ay nag-create po ako ng technical working group for purposes of conducting public consultations. So itong dalawang bill na ito, yung Rana Development Authority at saka yung Bangsamoro Sustainable Development Board ay natapos na po sa public consultations. So, ginawa ko last week ay nagtatawag tayo ng committee meeting and pina-report back ko yung dalawang TWG. So, they presented to the committee on rules, yung resulta ng public consultations. And the recommendations, proposed provisions ng ating public, kaya po tinawag na public consultation, ay yung public ang magpropose kung anong gusto nilang amendments or provisions na may sama doon sa batas. Ito ay i-present sa akin sa Committee on Rules. Ang next na ginawa ko sa kanila, ako po ay nag-task sa kanila na i-incorporate yung proposed provisions na yun doon sa batas na yun. No? And we will agree on the committee level to adapt or not to adapt the proposed provisions. Kung halimbawa, nakita namin na no substantial difference doon sa proposed provision kanila proposal, ay hindi na namin i-adapt kasi ganun din yun. No? Or pag makita namin na yung proposed provisions ay unconstitutional, hindi namin i-adapt yung provisions na yun. So at the end of the day, we will agree at the committee level yung magandang version na ipapasa. So I'm very, again, I see that before this June 30, no, ay may pasa natin itong dalawang batas na ito. Yeah, I see to it. Yung Bangsamoro Sustainable Development Board, napaka-importanting batas yan. So yun ang pa natin, titignan. Mga next week, abangan niyo po ako ay magpapatawag ng committee meeting related sa batas na ito. And we will agree that kung ano ang gagawin natin.
Follow up po, sir. Can you tell us more about doon sa dalawang bill na yun? Ano yung magandang dulot niya?
Itong Bangsamoro Sustainable Development Board, ito ay part ng IGR. No? IGR. So, for example, yung national level ay meron silang proposed development, no? Sustainable development at the policy, no? Sa national level ay dapat ito ay alinsunod din sa sustainable development policy ng ating Bangsamoro. Kasi ang Bangsamoro is part of the national government, part ng Pilipinas. So dapat yung lahat ng ating polisiya, ang lahat nating programa, ang lahat ng ating development approach ay dapat magkaka-align. Ito ay batas na ipapasa natin na magkakaroon ng pagkalinga sa ating Lake Lanao, ng ating natural resources dyan. Ito ay poprotektahan nito ang environmental issues din sa lake na yan. For example, may gustong magkaroon ng fish cage doon sa Lake Lanao, dapat ay dumaan ito sa regulatory powers ng Bangsamoro. Yun ang ating gustong gawin. No? Halimbawa pa, kukuha sila ng permit sa atin. Or kung gustong mag-develop ng resort doon sa Lake Lanao, ay kailangan din kumuha ng permit at ma-regulate natin yung ginagawa ng mga kababayan natin doon. At yung pagdating sa energy, no? Nakita natin panahon ng summer. No? So, kailangan natin kontrolin yung paglabas ng tubig para masustain yung environment dun sa Bangsamoro, sa Lake Lanao. So, yun po yung kahalagaan itong batas na ito. Ito ay preservation, protection of the Lake Lanao against abuse or against any mga gawain na hindi makakaganda sa kalikasan.
Yes, in addition, yung Lanao Development Authority is actually a convergence of important provisions on dun sa dalawang peace agreements, no? Yung 1996 final peace agreement saka yung comprehensive agreement of the Bangsamoro, that all inland waters are to be co-managed actually doon sa if the water is a source of energy. So it's important na merong regulatory body na magbabantay, mag-preserve doon sa lake as a source of energy. Also, for your information ho, pet bill yan ni Speaker Balindong doon sa Congress. He according to him, he filed that same bill 3 times in Congress and it was never passed by Congress. No? So eventually, kung maganda yung narinig namin na ipapasa na ni Madjo yung dalawang bill na yan before the end of June, inshallah.
Ang susunod na magtatanong ay si Ersad Abdulatif ng Voice FM. Mga last 3 questions na po kasi I'm sure din kayo ay may hinahabol din na program. So, sir?
Okay, question ko po sir ay yung status po ng Bangsamoro Police ngayon. Status ng Bangsamoro Police sa kasalukuyan.
Yeah, as far as MNLF po, no, I can probably give some info, no. It is a national program under the Bangsamoro Organic Law. No? It was agreed na magkakaroon ng mga police coming from the that the MNLF and the MILF are given leeway, no, in applying for the PNP. No? Well, yung mga requirements binaba ng konti para ma-accommodate yung mga fighters, yung mga anak ng mga fighters ng MILF at MNLF. Currently, naghihintay na ako ng results yung mga nag-apply. Ang nakalagay sa PNP law kasi is 45 to 60 days lalabas yung result ng exams from the day of the examination. Now, yung first batch ko, there were around 10,000 na nag-apply and they all took the exams. Moreover, 5,000 lang ang ma-accommodate doon. But we believe that merong another batch na ibibigay para dito sa Bangsamoro. And the training will be conducted here in the Bangsamoro region, no, sa Camp Parang.
So, follow-up lang po, sir. Doon ho sa first batch po, sa MILF, ilan po ang magagaling sa MILF at ilan din magagaling po sa MNF?
3,000 plus po yung galing sa MILF, 1,000 plus po galing sa MNLF.
Ang susunod na magtatanong ay si Sir Samsali of DXMS.
Hello. I understand, of course, tapos ng election. And gusto ko na malaman yung feelings ng BTA. Kung ano sa palagay po ninyo dito sa bagong selection ng new parliament members, maapektuhan kaya yung ginawang endorsement ng UBJP kay Lenny Robredo instead of BBM? What do you think? I mean, comments.
Yes. What is important is the BOL and the Bangsamoro Autonomous Regional Muslim Mindanao is the result of the peace agreements. We have different political views, and that's part of democracy. And as the speaker said, no, tapos na yung election, and we move forward. No? So I believe personally that as of this day, there is a backdoor channeling, no, sa ating government of the day and President-elect Ferdinand Marcos to settle it once and for all, agree on ways forward after these elections. No? The UBJP, no, and the government of the day, in fact, the Chief Minister has already issued a congratulatory letter to the Chief Minister, yes, to the President-elect Ferdinand Marcos, and hope to see yung peace agreements and implementation of peace agreements will be implemented, and the BARM is supporting the President-elect Ferdinand Marcos. What happened in the elections stays there in the elections, and we should move forward and see to it that yung development ng ating Bangsamoro ay development din ng ating national government ng Pilipinas. So, yun po, no, ang panawagan natin sa lahat ay magkaisa tayo para sa kapayapaan at para sa kaunlaran.
may I add also, no? I think with all the personal and collective reasons that the MILF and the MNLF that could have based, yung doon nila base yung pag-support nila sa other candidate, the MILF and MNLF choose to base their, to hinge their support on the other candidate on certain principles that are lodged in the BOL. Alam natin na sa BOL, sinasabi natin, ang pina-follow na natin ngayon is already party and program-based politics. And during the elections, isa lang man talaga ang kandidato na nagpalabas ng kanyang platform. And she even signed, no? And any good leader would support that kasi yun yung may commitment, written commitment yun eh. And then pinakita ng leadership ng MILF yung pinirmahan na commitment, pinakita sa MNLF. So the MNLF also told that line. Nonetheless, ang nag-declare ho ang MILF at MNLF that they will abide by the results of the elections. Kasi yun yung will ng taong bayan. And we believe, as said by the majority floor leader, ang leadership ng BARM nagpadala na kagad ng congratulatory letter sa kay President-elect Ferdinand Marcos Jr. Also, the leadership of the MNLF nagpadala na rin ho ng congratulatory remarks to the President-elect. And both also emphasize that, believes that the two elected leaders, no, the President Bongbong Marcos and Sara Duterte, knew their obligation to shepherd the implementation of all signed peace agreements dito sa Bangsamoro. And we believe that yung dalawang leaders na yan, they know their responsibilities also. And as far as the BTA, we will cooperate with the President-elect and Vice President.
So, ang last na tanong ay...
Follow up. Yung impression kasi ng tao, ang ano man ang decision ng MILF at ng UBJP is the same with the, yun din po ba ang stand ng BTA? Pakipaliwanag po.
The BTA in general, hindi. No? But most of the BTA, members of 41, they are all members of the UBJP. No? So, in a way, yun yung doon mo i-relate yung perception. As far as the 39 is concerned naman, hindi rin, no? Meron ding mga nag-iba talaga ng pananaw, no? But most of the 39, they all followed kung sino yung in-endorse ni President Rodrigo Duterte. So, in a way, hindi na rin nagmamatter yan eh. Because we can only, sinabi nga ni Speaker, we can only speculate now kung ano yung magiging relationship ng BTA and the newly elected President. But again, sinasabi namin na kami dito sa BTA, we continue to work and we will cooperate with the duly elected leaders of the Republic of the Philippines.
Okay, thank you.
Ang next na tanong ay manggagaling kay Ninang 12 ng Bombo Radio.
Ayun sir, may magagawa po ba ang BTA sa malawakang nangyayaring power interruption nandito sa Maguindanao? Inline po sa oo, malaking utang. So baka may mga legislation ng hakbang na ginagawa itong BTA sir.
Yeah, we can only, as far as the BTA is concerned, we can only make recommendations, also through resolutions, asking for to be clarified first, to be clarified dun sa issue ng dalawang electric cooperatives, no? And second, we cannot commit na kaming babayad dun sa utang nila because kami yung pondo namin for this year naka-allocated na po yan, may naka-program na yan. And of course, we can, because of the reach of our powers over energy, and yung sa mga electric cooperatives, the parliament can even suggest to the government of the day that we will buy these electric cooperatives. Pwedeng gawin yan, nasa DOA yan eh. Power yan ng Bangsamoro government. Yan. Power ng Bangsamoro government. However, that will entail a lot of study. No? That will entail a lot of study, hindi lang from the BARM, but also from the National Electrification Administration.
So may gusto magpahabol, pero last na talaga ito ha. Kasi from ang last question ay magagaling kay Twinkle Bulongan of the PIE.
Sir, tinitignan din po namin PA ngayon yung proposed resolution number 692, yung integration program po ng mga mababalik loob ng budget. Wala sa kanila, yes po.
Daula.
Integration program po. Pwede po ba manibigyan natin po para paper kung ano yung magiging saklaw nito?
I am not I do not fully grasp the content of the resolutions, no? But I believe with or without that resolution, meron na akong program ang Ministry of Interior and Local Governance, no? Designed like the ECLIP program of the DILG National. So, meron silang mga programs na dyan sa reintegration and rehabilitation. In fact, the Minister of Interior and Local Governance, during the budget hearing last year for budget 2022, he made a report na meron nang nag-avail meron na silang ini-implement na program as far as the Bangsamoro Islamic Freedom Fighters concerned, who had already returned to the fold of the law. May trainings na sila sa TESDA, I think carpentry and sort of yung mga ini-implement nila na programs. So, sinasabi natin is, ang point natin dito is, with or without that resolution, I believe the Bangsamoro government already has programs for such concerns.
Okay, maraming salamat. Siyempre sa ating guest, Madjo. Yes, at siyempre kay Speaker, thank you so much for gracing our press conference for this afternoon. And siyempre sa ating mga media partners, maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Sinurprise mo kami, sir.
Yeah. Sir, thank you for coming, sir.
Si speaker na bahala sa inyo, ha?